Tony here with dripmonkey.com. Today we're going to be putting together a tree drip irrigation kit. Last year in Texas, 2011, Texas lost 500 million trees. Unbelievable. We had a terrible drought. Now, this kit though is set up to keep your trees healthy in a situation like Texas had where we were going through these droughts. It's a nice, easy kit. It's easy to set up, and it gives those trees that deep soak that will take, depending on the size of the tree, 20, 30, 40 minutes. Again, you can do it up to an hour. You've got these nice drips that will go around the tree line and into the root system, and I'll show you how to set that up as well. Nothing adds more value to a yard than a nice, healthy tree. This tree drip irrigation kit will include mainline hose, 1/4 inch micro tubing hose, 1/4 inch soaker hose, goof plug, which is also an in plug in case you need to move this, 1/4 inch T-barb fitting, 1/4 inch barb, an elbow compression fitting for the mainline hose, backflow preventer, 1/4 inch swivel adapter for the mainline hose, figure 8 in clamp for the mainline hose, 1/4 inch staple, 1/2 inch staple, and your 1/4 inch hole 3-in-1 punch. This kit can be put together with garden shears or simple scissors. I always like to start all of my kits from the hose bib itself, just because I never want to run short of the main line once I've got it all laid out. This is where I like to start. First thing you've got to do is with your backflow preventer, which is going to keep any contaminated water from the yard or from your kit, the water getting back into your drinking water. So you're going to start with your backflow preventer, screw it onto your hose bib, take your mainline hose and your hose end adapter with the swivel on it. It's a compression fitting too. Put that on the hose, and all you're doing is just more or less just pushing it on there. It's going to be on there tight, and it's going to be on there forever. Take your mainline hose, hook it up to your hose bib, you're not charging anything yet, but now let's take the main line and go set it up where we need to for our kit. Okay, now once you've got your hose laid out and you've got it stapled into the ground, you're going to come to the end. You're going to find your end, give yourself an extra few, I don't know, I'd say an extra 5 inches or so. Clip it with your garden shears. Take your figure 8, put it on the hose end, fold it over, give yourself probably about 4 inches or so, and then secure the end into the figure 8. Once you've clipped the end, or once you've got the end in there, this is what's going to pressurize your hose. Take a garden stake or a lawn stake, and with that hole, go ahead and put it in there. If you have extra garden stakes, anything that looks like it might be loose, go ahead and put it in there. Everything's nice and tight now. Now your mainline hose is all ready to go. Now when you go to set up the actual drip line, you need to pay attention. I remember as a kid, my dad would just take the water hose and put on a little light drip, and he'd put it like right on the actual tree itself, right here, and I was like, and I didn't realize this until I started setting up my own drip lines. Your root system is about it starts from about the middle of the branches out to the end. So if you set up your drip line between those, you know, and you can even go about halfway, you know, halfway up to your branches, you know, and if you were to put that around your tree, it would get all the water it needs, and it would get the water where it needs it too. So, you know, imagine a tree, you know, is coming up here and its root system's got to hold this big heavy tree up, you know, and as it grows, it's just going to get bigger and bigger. So that's how I go to set up, find out where I'm actually putting my drip line, is I'm going to go from halfway through the branch to the end of the branch, anything in between. Now, once your main line is set up, you're going to take your 1/4" barb with your 3-in-1 hole punch, put it in the end there, take your 1/4" micro tubing, put your barb in there, just kind of wiggle it on there. It's on there. Once it's on there, it's on there. You're going to take your 3-in-1 hole punch, create a hole in your main line hose, put your barb into the hose. Once you've got your length figured out, how far around you want to go, clip it with your garden shears. Take your 1/4" tee, clip that into the 1/4" hose. Now this is what you're going to secure the drip line hose to, and we're going to just make a big circle around the tree and set up the drip line for the tree. All right, now once your 1/4" T-barb is set up, you're going to take your drip line hose, and this particular drip line hose is every 12 inches, and it's ½ a gallon per hour per emitter. Start to stabilize this. All right, now once you've got your drip line laid out in a circle around your tree, you're going to go ahead and clip it with your garden shears. Take the other end, connect it to the T-barb, take your 1/4" staple, secure it into the ground. Now when you look at the line that I had set up, it's not a perfect circle, and I'm actually not a perfect artist, that's for sure. You've got it going around your tree. It's all stapled in. I do it anywhere between every 1.5 feet, every 2 feet. Just going to secure it, so whenever you do actually go over it with your lawnmower, it's not going to fly up into the blade. Okay, this is what I kind of wanted to point out to you. Here's a drip emitter, and here's a drip emitter. They're about 12 inches apart. You got a nice, slow drip. All depending on how much you want to water your tree, you know, and you'll have to look up how much each tree needs to be watered. But this is the kind of drip that you're getting, and this is what's going into the soil that's going to water your trees. By watering your trees too, down in the south here in Texas, we have a lot of problems with foundations. A big part of that problem is when tree roots start getting underneath the foundation looking for water and they can't find it. This system will actually help prevent foundation problems because the trees aren't going to be looking for the water under the foundation because you're already going to be watering them. I finished up the kit. It took me all of about 30 minutes to set up from the time I actually put on the back hose, the backflow preventer, running the main line, stapling it into the ground, hooking up my barb to the main line, hooking up the T-barb, putting a drip line correctly around the tree, 30 minutes. It was super easy to do. This system is going to allow your trees to get watered in a hot summer, you know, like we have down in Texas where we lost tons of trees last year. Nothing adds more value and more just a pop to a house than a nice, pretty tree. And that means if you don't have trees, plant them. Your kids will enjoy them, you know, in a good 10 years. You'll love it. Easy, easy system to set up, and it's going to save a ton of money on any foundation problems that, you know, not watering a tree could cause. I just wanted to show you an example of a mainline hose actually being covered up by the grass itself. This is Bermuda right here, and I had set this up last summer. So I have got mainline right here, and the grass is actually growing over the mainline hose. Believe it or not, over here I have got drip lines all in my yard, watering my palm tree. B've got it watering my red oak over here. Got it watering my citrus trees over here. All of this has been covered up with the grass. And again, with a viney grass like that, you're not going to have any problems with it covering everything up. Here's a perfect example of how to use that main line and water multiple trees. I've got a red oak here that I planted 2 years ago, and this thing has grown 4 feet. It is absolutely amazing. It's doing phenomenal. Now, I've also got a live oak that I planted about 1.5 years ago, and this thing has grown by leaps and bounds as well. Now, the big thing with this live oak that you've got to be careful with is it's an old tree. It can get really, really old. And your root system, if it gets under that foundation, can be a serious issue. So you have got to water a tree like this because it can destroy and cost tons of money for foundation. But as long as you keep it watered, you should be in good shape. Now you can run that main line, and then off of each main line, you can run your drip line and keep these watered off of that single main line. I've also got a crepe myrtle over here. It's a pretty hardy tree to begin with, but it does need some water. So again, off that main line, you can still easily water that tree.